to create a combat mission scenario AI plan. Part 3. Plotting a series of orders for AI groups. This video series is designed for those who are completely new to creating scenario AI plans for the Battlefront Combat Mission game series. As a reminder, in this series I'm creating an AI plan in Red Thunder for a German attack using half-tracks, mounted infantry and attached tanks. While I'm using Combat Mission Red Thunder, the tools and approaches for creating AI plans are exactly the same across all games. In parts 1 and 2, I covered AI plan fundamentals and the AI plan setup phase. If you haven't seen these parts and are new to creating AI plans in Combat Mission, I recommend watching them before continuing with this section. If you're already familiar with the basic AI plan fundamentals, such as how to allocate units to AI groups in the setup phase, then please feel free to dive straight into part 3. In part 3, I'll demonstrate how to plot a series of orders for our AI groups. What's an AI order? An order for an AI group must consist of the following: exit before and exit after time slot. They tell the AI what time period to enact an order. Movement behaviour. They tell the unit what behaviour to prioritise. Simply put, you have a spectrum between prioritising speed at the expense of situational awareness at one end, through to prioritising engaging enemy targets over movement at the other. You need a stance. That's the basic combat posture of a unit for a given order, and the fourth element is optional. That's the passenger status. If relevant, this option tells infantry carrying vehicles and bunkers to dismount its passengers or to keep them mounted. About game clock times, orders, movement and stance behaviour. Before we start issuing orders, you have to get your head around the in-game clock times concept and how that will impact your AI group orders. This is a key element in coordinating your AI groups, but it might take a wee bit of getting your head around. There are 5 key points to understand. Number 1. Order times are tied to absolute scenario time. The timings in the exit between and time settings are absolute scenario time, not relative duration. The times are tied to scenario clock times. So if a scenario game clock starts at 1400 hours, the successive orders are timed to link with that. So for example, a setup with exit between and times of 00 to 01 minutes will mean the AI group will move off at 1400 hours and will endeavour to get to the next painted map movement zone for an order within 1 minute or by 1401 hours. You can track this in the 3D view. It's top right under the view indicator, which is scenario time. So for example, if the scenario starts at 1400 hours, this is the time you'll see here at the start of the scenario. Another option is you can work from the game timer countdown, that's bottom right, which counts down from the time the designer has given the scenario. So for example, if the scenario lasts 45 minutes, the timer will start at 45 minutes and count down from there as the scenario progresses. Number 2. Relationship between exit between and times and the AI order. Exit between and times affect the next order. They tell the AI group what time period to enact an order. The first time tells the AI group to never start the order until that time. The second time tells the AI group to never start the order later than that time. The time period between the first and second settings is the phase where the AI group attempts to carry out the planned order. So the exit between and, which are in the setup, will dictate the time period at which order 2 and its associated movement behaviour is carried out. So the exit between and, which are in order 2, will dictate the time period at which order 3 and its associated movement behaviour is carried out, and so on. Number 3. the map movement zone for an order. The map movement zone for an order is painted on the 2D map. This yellow painted zone will be the destination for the AI group, and the AI will attempt to move into the painted zone. Now, instead of viewing map movement zones as waypoints, consider them as locations where your AI group will take a tactical pause, which could be either brief or extended. So consider the terrain you paint this map movement zone into. Ask yourself these 3 questions before painting it on the 2D map. Number 1, is this a tactically sound location to pause? Is it in sight of the enemy? And do I want units pausing here to be in sight of the enemy? Also, please understand that the units within the AI group will rely on their own tactical AI to handle pathfinding and responses to enemy actions. All you can do is influence in broad terms their movement behaviour and their stance behaviour through the AI order. Number 4, movement behaviour. When creating orders, the movement behaviour in an order group refers to the previous order. Number 5, stance behaviour. The stance behaviour affecting the current order is allocated in the current order. Creating a basic AI group order sequence. So simply put, when creating an order, you're telling the AI group the movement behaviour to adopt for the previous order and telling it when to carry out the next order. So in our example Red Thunder scenario, where we're creating the AI plan with the game timer set to 45 minutes and using our AI group number 2, the Panthers, as an example. Setup 00 to 4 minutes. In this example, order 2 movement behaviour refers to the setup order when moving out from setup. The timing phase refers to when the next order will begin, i.e. order 2. So as the behaviour is set to advance in order 2, the AI group will at setup immediately move out using the advance movement behaviour and head for the painted map movement zone and seek to reach that before the clock reaches 4 minutes. On scenario clock terms, that's 1404 hours, or 45 minutes minus 4, which gives us 41 minutes on the timer. Note, advance is a useful movement behaviour to use when advancing to contact, as the AI group elements will generally use a bounding overwatch and keep moving after taking some shots at any spotted enemy units. Order 2, 4 minutes 30 seconds to 5 minutes. This means that the AI group of Panthers will sit at this painted spot till the clock reaches 4 minutes and 30 seconds, or in scenario time that would be 1404 hours and 30 seconds, and then it will move out using the movement behaviour as indicated under order 3. Note, I use dash here as I want the AI group elements to move at maximum speed and not engage enemy forces, and I also painted a withdraw, also known as retreat face command, to the painted map movement zone. So this means they're going to withdraw maximum speed without bothering to fire at anything they spot. The reversing Panthers will now attempt to reach the painted map movement zone before the clock strikes 5 minutes, or 1405 hours in scenario time, or 40 minutes, which is 45 minutes minus 5 minutes on the timer. Order 3, 5 minutes to 6 minutes. The timing under order 3 now refers to the time phase before the AI group starts on order 4. It should almost immediately start to withdraw to the painted map zone for order 3 and endeavour to reach that point before the clock strikes 6 minutes. And that's equivalent to a scenario clock time of 1406 hours, or 39 minutes, 45 minus 6 minutes on the game timer. Order 4, 00 to 00. For this order, the movement behaviour is dash, again with a painted retreat face command, which is the movement behaviour my Panthers will adopt for order 3, and they will endeavour to reverse and reach that new map zone. As I've not allocated any further orders, there is no exit between and time set. So there you go. That's the basic process for creating a series of orders for an AI group. Observations on movement behaviours and impact on timings. There are three things to keep in mind regarding your AI group series of orders going to plan, as in creating the movement tactical effect you seek in a particular series of orders. The movement behaviour allocated to an AI group will impact the AI order timings. In the example, AI Order 2 used the advanced movement behaviour, which meant the AI group elements did a sort of bounding overwatch type movement. This can slow down a unit, so it will take longer to travel from point A to point B, especially if it has to engage enemy units. AI crisscross movement behaviours. The other AI idiosyncrasy is a weird crisscross movement behaviour an AI group will use as they move from point A to point B. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do to prevent this from happening, though setting map movement points far apart might mitigate the worst effect, which can cause traffic jams, and using a dash map movement behaviour tends to avoid this, but might not always be tactically appropriate for the AI group. How long does it take an AI group to travel from point A to point B? Working out how long a unit might take to travel from point A to point B is also one of the fundamental challenges of coordinating a series of movement orders for an AI group. Roughly speaking, a track unit will travel approximately 250 metre-ish in 1 minute, which is around about 31 map squares. That's each map square is 8 by 8 metres. Naturally, enemy action can have a very disruptive effect on movement timings. In the early stages of creating an AI plan, I'd suggest ignoring that aspect for now, i.e. enemy action on your plan. The key challenge at this point is getting the AI groups to move in the coordinated manner you want them to move. So my approach to managing these challenges is, once you've created a linked series of orders for an AI group, is testing as you go. You can then fiddle this to get as close to the desired effect as you can. And this is the time consuming bit of AI plans, but spending time doing this is well worth doing, especially in the initial stages of creating your AI plan. Next, in part 4, we'll look at how to create a vehicle dismount command within an AI order, using the AI facing, fire, withdraw tools, create and use movement orders for infantry AI groups in combat, creating support targets, and coordinating AI group orders within a plan. I do plan to deal with using triggers as a topic in its own right. It's pretty complex. So yeah, tune in. And thanks for watching, and please, if you found this useful, I'd truly appreciate if you could hit the like button, and if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to my channel. Many thanks. Cheery.